The revolving door in D.C. just took another swing right before we came on air. Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, made this announcement. Take a look.
That's why today I am announcing that this year will be my last one as a member of the House. To be clear, I am not resigning. I intend to full my served term as I was elected to do. But I will be retiring in January, leaving this majority in good hands with what I believe is a very bright future.
So, this brought tears to Megan's eyes. Because you know she has a poster of him.
I do. Joy gave me a painting of him in my green room that I'm going to have to get rid of. Okay, so cheering kind of surprises me a little bit because Paul Ryan is a politician of an era gone by. He was one of the most powerful congressmen between 2009 and 2016 before Trumpism sort of completely took over. He's a really classic conservative. And this party is the party of Trump now, and people like me are sort of like old school conservatives. We're really on our way out, and it makes me really sad. And my husband, I was texting him about it, and he said he committed the worst sin. He was serious, polite, and nice. That's not what people want right now. He just gave a press conference saying he wants to spend more time with his family. I believe him to a point. I also think he doesn't want to deal with this anymore. He doesn't want to go home to his constituents in Wisconsin and try and explain some of the tweeting, some of the more incendiary things that President Trump is doing right now. And we're having Trey Gowdy on tomorrow. This is the bloodletting of classic conservatives. And the people that are cheering, do you know what comes in its place? Trumpism. And I assume if you don't like Paul Ryan, you probably hate Trump more. So maybe don't cheer when people like Paul Ryan and Mitt Romney and Trey Gowdy and people like Ben Sasse, who are, thank God, still in office, are maybe on their way out, because I assure you what's in its place you will like a lot less.
Isn't he afraid that he's going to lose in November? Isn't that the real bottom line?
I don't think that's it, actually.
Does he have, do you think I know he said he is a family guy, so I know he could mean that part, but is there a strategy here, too? Because it seems so random on a Wednesday that you just, this pops up in the news.
It's about fundraising, because people who are donating want to know who's going to be in leadership positions, and it will either be Stephen Scalise or Kevin McCarthy, and I think people want to know what the future holds, but I'm really depressed about it, but, you know, I guess
you still have Mitch McConnell, who doesn't look as good in a Speedo, I'll grant you that. But you still have Mitch McConnell over there.
What I don't understand is why leave if you are so I don't know, against what the Republican Party is starting to stand for, then stand for something, then stand up against the Trumpism that's going on.
Maybe he will.
But they always seem to do it on their way out.
Right.
So why not take a stand? I mean, that's what our politics, I thought, was supposed to be about.
You're not wrong about that, though, Sonny. Sonny's not wrong.
But he could have done it, like, last week even, before he announced.
Within conservative circles, though, conservative media has really gone after Paul Ryan, because anytime you say anything against President Trump, I mean, just buckle up, because they're going to sort of crucify you all night long. And I don't think he wanted to put up with it anymore. I get it. Any moderate on either party, the era is gone. It doesn't exist.
This guy, Kevin McCarthy, you say?
Well, sing it into the rafters, Sonny.
Take
but
your party back. I don't understand.
Populism has taken over. This isn't. I don't even completely blame Paul Ryan, but I agree with you. I think you and I are both fighters in our very nature. But this isn't. He's the symptom of the larger disease, as far as
this guy Kevin McCarthy, by the way, in 2016, he said during a private conversation he might be taking over with fellow GOP leaders that he thought Trump was being paid off by Vladimir Putin. How's that going to work with Trump?
But now Trump calls him my Kevin. They're actually very close, but I think Steve Scalise is a better.
That's the thing that kind of freaks me out. Right? Yeah. Suddenly, it's like, oh, he's the scum of the earth. He's the worst thing ever. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Is it me you're looking for? It's extraordinary. And you know what? I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. I know that people are saying that, you know, what is going to come may be worse, but I'm going to hope that somewhere in this mix, other Republicans who are smart enough to say, this is not the world. This is a small group. Because for me, it started with the Tea Party, and then it evolved into something else, and then it's like, there's some new new stuff that we're dealing with. So I'm hoping that the people who are actually thoughtful are not going to bail. You know, this is a tough gig. This is a tough gig and a tough time, as you said, because, you know, it is hard to go back to your people and say, hey, you know, yeah, no, I voted for this. I know it is probably not the right thing, but maybe we'll be able to get here.
Well,
you know,
like,
I think
he's
people
been
are tired
an enabler. Paul Ryan has been an enabler.
No, he
of
hasn't.
Trump.
That is factually inaccurate. He
not
has
one
gone up
word.
against Trump.
I have
It's
heard
part
not
of the
one
reason why
word.
he's stepping down right now. That is factually inaccurate.
One of the reasons he's stepping
he has gone
down-
up against Trump time and time again. He's been crucified by hardcore conservative
What has he
media as
said
a
that's so
result of it.
big deal against
the
Trump? Tell me.
immigration,
What has it been?
anti-immigration,
He got his tax cut
talking
through.
about.
He got Neil
You know, he was one of the
Gorsuch.
few
He
people
got
that came
everything
out
he
during the
wanted.
grab him in the blank tape that came out vociferously against him. This is the problem, though. What do you want? If Paul Ryan isn't
I
good
want
enough
them all
and people,
out.
but that's not logical. We shouldn't want that. We live in a democracy. We should want two healthy parties
I do want two healthy
debating
parties.
against each other. But
Bring
if Paul Ryan is the greatest sin, this is how we got Trump. Because if Paul Ryan and Mitt Romney and people like this are the worst kind of politicians, then you deserve Trump. Because he's not. He's a truly decent man that was trying to fight for democracy and conservative ideals. And now what's going to be left, I have no idea.
But he's leaving. He
is
not fighting
leaving.
the good fight, and that's the problem that I have.
I think it's
fair.
I'm troubled by
That's
that.
fair, but to say that he's like the worst of the worst of the worst is just, it's
like
completely
He's a
inaccurate.
leader. He's a
Go
leader.
ahead.
It's
Go
like,
ahead.
Thank you. It's like Senator Flake, though. I think that I want to believe what Sonny's saying, stay and fight, but I feel like they're between a rock and a hard place because you almost have to toe the company line with Trump in office and therefore piss off some of your constituents. You know, like can you fight?
But
Can you
they've
stay
made-
and fight and survive if you're a Paul
When
Ryan?
I vote, I want somebody that's going to fight for what I believe in. I want someone to do the job. I don't want someone to just kowtow to whoever's in power.
You said
That's
something
not what we
interesting.
do.
Go ahead.
They have made, this group of people you're describing has made a deal with the devil, and now they're all going to lose in
it's because
November,
we
and they're
all-
scared.
First of all, it's just not true. There are
Oh,
still
come on.
people there. I'm sorry, Trey Gowdy and Senator Scott who are coming on tomorrow. They have not made deals with the devil. In fact, Trey Gowdy's saying, I'm out. I'm not going to do this
Every
anymore.
time
And
he
Sonny's
says
right.
something great about
But
Putin,
Sonny
it's
is
radio
right.
silence
That
from
is
the
not
Republican
true.
Party.
I do it all the time on this show. It
Just
is
you.
not true.
Are you
That
in
is not
office?
true. There are many
Are you a
people.
senator?
No, but TV has debatably more power than some people in office. So please don't sit here and say because I haven't run for office, I'm not trying to make an impact.
You are.
And I will
I
say,
agree with you.
but
You
the
are.
idea, Sonny is exactly right. The idea that we shouldn't sit and fight and continue to do this is 100% correct. I didn't agree with
Vote
it. I didn't
blue.
agree when Jeff Flake did it. But I will say to sit here and compare Paul Ryan to some of the people in the Republican Party right now who are not standing up for conservative ideals is just intellectually
Okay, so
dishonest.
bad work.
Everybody's done. We'll be right back.